Oh man. All right. So pretty sure I'm actually pretty positive that um hold on. Okay. So I'm pretty positive that something happened with our webcast. Um I don't even know if it was recorded. I don't know if we went live or what. That really sucks. Hopefully y'all didn't just miss the whole first half of the show where we talked about the punishing the team and and all that kind of stuff. Um, Let me just check here, make sure something maybe it recorded and I just didn't miss it. Okay, so um, my wife texted me. I think it was my wife. Somebody texted me and said they couldn't sign into the webcast. So I reloaded it and that took everything off the screen. So I okay, this says live now. So great. We may have missed the whole first thing. I love technology. Seriously, this is crap. Anyway, um, all right, let's see. That's fantastic. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to start off where I left off because I'm not going to, if you were able to watch at least a half of it, hopefully, um, hopefully you were able to watch some of it. I'm not going to put you there. But anyway, so we're talking about the playing time. So I just got finished saying that when you pay to play, um, you're not paying to play. Now I'm going to try to sum this up, this last part, but um, uh, you're not paying to play. You're paying for the opportunity to try out. And so everybody at that point has the same exact opportunity. You try out. You have the same exact opportunity to earn a spot. That's where the same exact opportunities stop because you try out, you earn your spot. Okay, at that point, your money doesn't mean anything anymore. Okay, so I went on to talk about little Timmy and Johnny. So Johnny being the best person on the planet, Timmy being the not the worst person on the planet. Both made the team. Congratulations, Timmy. Don't know how he made the team, but he made the team. Okay. Here's what we're telling. Unfortunately, here's what we're telling the Johnnies of the world and the Timmys of the world. So playing time. My kid should play. I paid just like Johnny did. Timmy should play. Okay. All right. So here's where the fault in that is. Okay. So Johnny, you are the best player on the planet. You work extremely hard. Your effort should be rewarded, but we're not going to do that. Okay. We're not going to reward your 100% effort. Oh yeah, and you're like the best player on the planet, but we're not going to celebrate that. We're just going to give you the same opportunities that we give Timmy. Timmy, you are the worst person on the planet. Not really sure how you made the team, but you did. And you are the same exact as Johnny. Way to go. So that's what we're telling kids. We're telling Timmy that it doesn't matter how good he is. He's terrible. That he is just as he is every bit as good as Johnny. He deserves every bit the chance to play the same amount as Johnny does. Well, that's wrong. No, he doesn't. Johnny's good. He works extremely hard. Okay. Timmy's not good. Whether he works hard or not, okay, we're telling them they're exactly the same. Well, that's ridiculous. That doesn't happen in the real world. Why does it happen in athletics? Yet we still do this, and parents still will whine and say their kid should play. So I go to a job interview, and hey, I know that Kevin over there, he's like super qualified. Actually, probably could be your president right now if it weren't for you already having a president. Super qualified, great guy, hard worker. He will make your company billions of dollars. I suck. I'm not qualified. Okay. I don't even like you. I don't know anything about your company. I just really need a job. Down on my luck a little bit, owe some people some money. I'll work hard, like when I have to. You may not get a whole bunch of return on the investment with me, but I deserve every bit of the same consideration as Kevin does over there, and I don't understand why you would hire him and not me. I should be considered too. That's ridiculous. You would never do that. No one. I mean, what company on the planet would ever do that? So in athletics, parents, you come to your coaches and you say, I think Timmy should play. Why? Why should he play over Johnny? So here is my challenge to parents, coaches, one, be upfront. Let everybody know that you're not going to get equal playing time. If it's this, no, we're talking about, excuse me, competitive athletics. You're not going to get equal playing time. Okay, that's just not how it works. Everybody on the team has the same opportunity to earn a spot. Everyone on the team, no matter how good you are, how bad you are, you have the same chance to earn a starting spot. If you earn a starting spot, you must keep it because everyone else behind you is still trying to earn a spot. And if you're just like, dude, I made it, I don't have to try hard anymore, well, then you're going to lose that spot. So that's where you all have the same opportunities. However, that's where it stops. If I have a kid on the team and they are working their butt off, they're 100% effort all the time, never giving up, doing everything they're told, and they're very talented, and I have somebody who maybe even is very talented, but doesn't work hard, doesn't do what they're told, always is disrespectful, always doing their own thing, not paying attention, not listening, not focused, that kid's not playing. Okay? And it doesn't matter how much you pay. You could have paid more than the other guy. You're still not playing. Okay? Because he is not bigger than the team. Okay? That's what we talked about in the beginning, right? So he's not bigger than the team. If this person is doing is more of a benefit to the team than this person's not playing. This person is. Now this person can always try to earn it. Some things have to change, but they can always earn it. Okay. I did this thing one time, and I still do it, but I think that one of the best judges for a sport, let me say for basketball, the best judges for basketball is the plus-minus system. When I coach, when I was the head coach, I had somebody doing it for me. When I'm an assistant coach, I do it. I think that the plus-minus system is the absolute least judgmental way. Or I should, maybe it's not judgmental. What's the word I'm looking for? Crap. Anyway, I think it is the absolute best way to fairly judge each player. Okay, here's what I mean by it. Plus-minus system in basketball is you take all the positive stats, you add them up, whatever you got. You take all the negative stats, you subtract them from the positive stats, you get a score. That was the basic description. Every player gets it. Okay, so let's say, let's take easy numbers so I don't have to do math. You get 10 points, 10 steals, 10 blocks, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. Okay, that's freaking awesome, by the way. If you do that, no one on the planet will ever do that, I don't think. But so you get 10 stats in all the 5 positive categories that we're keeping. That gives you a 50. Okay. Now let's say you had 10 turnovers. That brings your score down to a 40. Right. So you end with a plus minus of 40. Okay, that's actually really good. But take all the positive stats, you minus all the negative stats. All right, so it takes opinion out of it. It takes favoritism out of it. It takes preference out of it. It's just the stats. You scored this many points, you had this many turnovers. The biggest thing for me, and this is in what we're talking about, is equal playing time. And my kid should play. Why is my kid only plus minus system? Here's the biggest argument I got. Parents would say, my kid only gets 5 minutes. This kid gets 20 minutes. Okay, that's fair. In 20 minutes, I have 20 minutes worth of opportunity to get positive stats and 20 minutes worth of opportunity to get negative stats. I have way more opportunity than the player that played 5 minutes to accumulate negative stats, right? If I only played 5 minutes, I have such a little amount of time to accumulate negative stats. So if I only get 5 minutes, I need to make that the best 5 minutes of my entire life. And I go out there and I get 2 rebounds in 5 minutes. Not a huge productivity, but I get 2, but I get no turnovers. I get a +2. That's a positive stat. Let's say the guy that's out there for 30 minutes ends with a +10. That is not hugely productive, because if I'm out there 30 minutes, I only got a +10. That means either I didn't do very much offensively or I turned the ball over a lot. Although it's not bad, double-digit plus-minus is good. Okay. But if you're out there for 5 minutes and you have a negative plus-minus, if you get more minutes, are you telling me you're going to That's the reason you got negative is because you only had a few minutes. You're going to get more negative. If in 5 minutes you have 5 turnovers, if you have 10 minutes, you're going to have 10 turnovers. Okay. If you have 5 turnovers in 5 minutes and I give you 5 extra minutes, maybe you do 5 positive things. Well, now you're just at a 0, right? So unfortunately, it's the parents that are saying, I really want my kid to do this. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. That's not how athletics works. That's not how life works. And yes, athletics are performance based. You might be the nicest kid on the planet, but you might suck at the sport. I'm not going to give you playing time because you're nice to me. Unfortunately, we have parents that believe that, and unfortunately, we have coaches that play into that as well. And then there's coaches that are on the other side, and I fall on the other side. Okay, I don't mind if I don't play a player. I don't not play a player for any personal agenda. I don't play them until they're ready to be a benefit to the team, until they're ready to be productive to the team. And I give everybody a shot. I give everybody a shot. There isn't a player that never plays for me. Okay. At some point, they're all going to get in. Okay. So I give everybody a shot. And then I evaluate that shot. Right. And so if you only get 2 minutes, I tell every one of my players this, make it the best 2 minutes of your entire life, because that might be all you get. And so if at the end of 2 minutes, you have done so many positive things, and it may not even show up in the stat book, like in soccer, if you're on defense, you're not getting as many stats as the offensive players. Right. But I'm not stupid. As a coach, I know what's going on out there. I can tell what you did. Okay. I don't need somebody to tell me somebody scored 30 points for me to think they're good. Go out there and play, and I'll tell you if you're good. So you get out there, you got 2 minutes on defense, and you've contained people to the outside every time somebody went to your side. You have stolen a ball a couple times. You made intelligent passes. You didn't do things that led to the other team scoring opportunity in 2 minutes. Maybe you only had 3 plays, and all 3 were those kinds of things that were positive. Well, guess what? Now I'm going to put you out there for 4 minutes. Right? I'm going to see what you can do. Okay. Eventually, you're going to get more minutes. And then it's up to you. You know, if your negative starts to outweigh the positive, I got to cut down the minutes, and maybe you're just on the bench. But this notion that I've paid to play, that's a lie, and people have bought into it. You do not pay to play. You pay for the opportunity to try out. And then if you make the team, your money means nothing at that point, as far as playing time is concerned. At that point, everybody has the same opportunity to earn their spot and keep their spot. So there are a lot of things that we can talk about when it comes to playing the sport and playing time. Specifically, the topic that we had was paying to play. You know, when, I paid the same amount of money as this. So what do I do if my kid's only getting 5 minutes a game? Okay, so we're ending a little bit early. However, I'm gonna give you some advice. Okay, I'm gonna give you, Coach, words of advice from Coach Jay. Okay, so you might be asking, my kid's not playing very much. Okay, basketball game, he may only get 10 minutes the whole game. Okay, maybe he only gets in 1 quarter. Soccer, man, we play like 40-minute games, and he's only getting 15 minutes. What do I do? Do I go and talk to the coach? Do I encourage my players to go to talk to the coach? I love this. I love when players come up to me and ask me, what can I do? What can I do to be better? I want to earn a spot. What can I do to be better? Okay, I had a player today come up to me after practice and say, I really want to earn a starting spot. Can we do some training on the side? I love that. That's awesome. That doesn't mean they're going to get a spot, but it gives them a way better chance that they're doing nothing, right? So I love that. So yes, encourage your players to go to the coach and say, Coach, is there anything that I can do? Is there anything that you see that I can work on? Because I want to fight for the chance, right? Don't tell your kids to go up there and say, I should be playing. You should be playing me. I should be playing over Johnny or Timmy or whatever. No, go there and say, Coach, is there anything that you see that I could be doing? Because I really want to fight for the chance to play. Okay, so that's all. Parents, stay the heck out of it. My word, you're raising young boys to be young men. You're raising young girls to be young women. Stop getting in the middle of it because you want them to play. Okay, encourage them to go and talk to the coach and have open conversations with the coach, and then ask them what was said. Because if the coach is a douchebag and he just says, I don't like you, that's a bigger issue than you step in. Then you get involved somehow. Okay. But if if it's just because you want him to play and maybe he's just not as good as everyone else, okay, yet, then what are you getting involved is going to muddy the waters. Okay, let me just say that. All right, so stay out of it. All right, it might just be your child. It might just be your child that is the reason they are not on the field as much as you think they should be. Okay, they may have some talent, but it may not be better than the person that they're trying to fight out the spot for. You don't know anything about these other kid, right? They may be being outperformed on the field. They may be hung up on this one thing that they continue to do and continue to do. However, that one thing is the thing that leads to the advantage for the other team every game. Okay? They might be fantastic in every other area, but this one thing they can't get, well, that can't be on the field. That can't be on the court because that continues to give the other team an advantage. And until that is shored up, they're not going to be out there. Okay? So my advice to you is build your child up, give them the confidence, encourage them to go to the coach and say, what can I do? Right? I really want to fight for this chance. Okay? What might be really good is to even encourage them to say, listen, I know Johnny is amazing. I know he is. But all I want is a chance. I just want to fight for it. And so what is it that I can do that will give me even a little bit better of a chance? Okay? Go up and say that. Okay? Any good coach would love it. Any bad coach would not want to hear it and be frustrated by it. They're not a good coach. Okay? A good coach wants to hear that, wants all of their players to want to get better, wants to do everything that they can in their power to help their players get better. Okay? So that's good. Parents, stay out of it. Don't get involved. All right. Let your kid do the hard work. Don't go up. Don't send emails to coaches. Don't call coaches. I had a parent come up to me about the plus minus system and they wanted to talk to me. They said, I don't think it's fair. And I try to be as respectful as I can and listen to everyone. And I try to acknowledge what they're saying because most times it's not actually what they're saying. Okay. So most times, more often than not, the words that come out of their mouth are not what they really want to say. Okay. For whatever reason, they say, I don't think it's fair. Well, I don't think that's true. I don't think that you think it's not fair. I think that you just want your kid to play and you're frustrated that you paid or you're frustrated that they're not playing as much because they should have the same opportunity. So I think it's a matter of perspective, not a matter of fair. Okay. So they came up and said, I don't think it's fair. I asked why. They explained why. I explained the plus minus system. They didn't agree. And so they just, they still thought it wasn't fair. And that's okay. That's okay. But the truth of the matter was they just didn't agree. They didn't agree and they thought everyone should play the same. And that's just not how it is. That's not how I'm ever going to coach because that's not life. Okay. So parents, stay out of it. Don't be sending emails. Don't call and say my kid should play. Why isn't he playing? Don't do that. Okay. If you're going to contact the coach because your kid's scared or something like that, if you're going to contact the coach, you should be asking the same question your kid should. Because as a coach, then I say, well, you just think your kid's good. Like I'm honest about my kids, right? So I know if my kid's bad, I probably won't even put him into sport, honestly. I'm not going to do that to my kid. And parents, you shouldn't do that to your kids either. There are just some sports your kids should not be playing, please. Side note, another show. But be honest, all right? And if you don't have all the information, get all the information. So don't just take your child's word for it when they come home and say, I'm better than this person. Well, he may not be. She may not be. She just might be frustrated. She might be delusional. Okay? So get all the information. Go and watch a game. Go and watch a practice before you get involved and step into something you shouldn't be stepping into. Get all the facts, get all the information. Then you can make an educated decision. Okay? Just to recap, I agree. I think the team should be punished, not just the individual. Even if it was only because of one person. I think there are some instances where there should be a consequence for an individual. For the most part, it should be the whole team because you're a whole team. No one person transcends the whole team. And if it does, it's a terrible team. Right? So you have to get your players to be one. You have to get the players that aren't making the mistakes as much to help the players that are. They're both going to grow. Okay, we already talked about that. So I talked about the playing time, paying to play. Okay, I just finished that. I am going to keep this last part really short. This whole internet thing kind of threw me off, and I really hope that this recorded everything. If not, I apologize. Maybe we'll revisit some of this stuff on the next broadcast, or maybe I'll just put the part that we missed. Maybe I'll just record that and put that up there. But anyway, so this last part, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I could take days to talk about this. Most would be examples. However, there is a difference between, so the question was, what's the difference between a season and a program? Okay. So this is more for coaches, this is more for athletic directors, this is more for parent. Well, if you're a parent, this is to help educate you. Okay, players, this is to help educate you. But for coaches, the difference between building a season and a program is a season isn't long-term, right? So you're not building anything long-term, okay? You're showing up. So I have a soccer season. We show up in August. Of course, if you're my team, we've been together since June, but let's just use August. You show up in August, you start practicing, you play until November, and then you're done. Then the kids go on and do their other things, whatever, and then you show up next August, and then you play until November, then you're done. Then you show up next August. That's a season. As a coach, you're building a season. You're just concerned about season, right? Athletic directors, if you're allowing this to happen, then you're concerned about seasons and not building a program. Okay, so a season is focused only when it's happening. A program, okay, a program ensures longevity, which means if I'm building a program, I don't have to wonder if I'm going to have a team in 3 years. Okay, obviously, if I'm just starting a program and there was never a program before, you're going to have to do that for a little bit. But if you've built a program, you don't focus on, I don't know if we're going to have enough players. That doesn't happen if you built a program. You know that you're going to have players because it's being fed, right? So a program means at kindergarten, I'm starting to pour into these families. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, middle school, I'm pouring into these families. We have things at every level. If I'm building a program at the elementary school age, I'm focusing 100% on fundamentals and fun. Fundamentals and fun. We want the kids to have a lot of fun. We just want them to love it and want to come back, because that's the key. If they don't want to come back, you don't have a team anyway. We want them to come back. However, when they come back, we want them to know what they're doing. So if we just throw them out there with a ball and say, go ahead. The other day I saw a dad, and again, we had a show on this, and I know a lot of these are volunteer dads and things like that step into coaching, and they just love the game. They may not know how to coach it or even play it, but they just love it. And so they're like, yeah, I'm going to coach, or I'm just coaching my kid because I want to spend time with my kid. And I witnessed a dad on a baseball field as I'm driving by. I witnessed a dad that was it must have been a camp maybe for softball players. Maybe it was a practice. I don't know, but they were all kind of doing the same thing. It resembled a camp. And there was a coach. I hope he wasn't a coach. I hope it was just a dad. But there was a coach, and he was demonstrating the proper mechanics to throw a softball. We're now going to have 15 girls that don't know how to play softball because he was demonstrating to throw a softball off the wrong foot. And the girls were doing it. So at that young age, and they couldn't have been 7 years old maybe, at that age, it's fundamentals and fun, fundamentals and fun, fundamentals and fun. They want to come back. We're teaching them how to do the sport that they want to come back to. Okay. As they get older, we're pouring into them. We have camps and clinics and tournaments and fun stuff and events and things like that. And we're building into the lives of these students and their families. And when they say, yeah, I want to play, they say, I want to go to blah, blah, blah school because I've had such a great experience. That's where I'm invested. I'm going to go there. Now they're in middle school and they're going to compete against our team they're going to compete athletically on our teams. We've already built into them. They've been pouring into our middle school system. Now we have to cut kids because there's so many. Okay. Those kids we still invest in because now they're going to work out and they're going to improve their skills. They're going to develop so that next year they come back when we lose our 8th graders to high school or whatever it is, when people go to the next level. Now we have kids filling in that know what they're doing, or there's just a more competitive environment because now everybody's gotten better. Now our middle school has fed our high school and our high school team grows, and it's just a perpetual system of growth. And you built a program. It's not just about showing up, picking up a ball, playing that sport, and then leaving it for the next one. That's not a program. Okay, so if I'm an athletic director, I have to understand that. I have to build multiple programs. I don't have to manage multiple seasons. If I'm a coach, I have to build a program. So my soccer team, yes, I have a lot of guys that play other sports. Okay, but as much as I am able, and as much as a coach is able, we start way earlier. We do team building stuff, we kick arounds, and we have retreats, and I keep in touch with these guys, and I invest in their families. I try to. Okay, so I try to keep in touch with them, and so you're not going to be able to spend every waking moment with every player on every team that you coach. However, if it's only during the season that you care about what's going on, you're not building a program. You're only concerned about a team. If you're an athletic director, you're only managing teams. You're not building a program. You have to build multiple programs, not manage multiple teams. Again, I could take forever to talk about this, and I have umpteen examples, bad and good. But that is the difference. And if I'm a parent or an athlete, I need to find and invest, or I need to invest in my child, and I need to invest in a place that's building a program, not just a team, because your child will never go any further than where he's at, right? And I'm not talking about next level playing in college and stuff like that. I'm talking about skill development, character development, concepts, team concepts. Building a program, people have vision. Managing a team, there's no vision, people die. Obviously not literally, but okay. So I know I spent way little time on that, the program versus team. I may unpack that a little bit more in another show, because I can speak a lot to that. I love when programs have vision. Maybe I'll give some examples on another show. If you're an athletic director or coach and you're like, how do I build a program? How do I build a culture with my team? I only coach one team, and all the kids play multiple sports. So how do I do that? Maybe I'll give some tips on the next show. All right, I am going to put in the chat box here, because this whole internet thing screwed up the whole show today. So hopefully we salvage some of it. But if you go to iCOACH.today, that's the website. If you are iCOACH _today, that's our Twitter. Okay. If you're at info@iCOACH.today, that's our email. Phone number is 750. Oh man. 8326. So it's 704-750-8326 or 704-750-TEAM. That's the same thing. You can also go to Facebook. I don't think you can go to Facebook. I was just thinking of my soccer team, actually. So there is no Facebook. So internet, email, phone, Twitter. You can call in. That's how you get in touch with us. Go to the website. If you want to be featured on the show, a question, opinion, a thought, a concern, whatever, email, tweet, text, call, let us know. I'll try to get it on the show. If you want to be a guest on the show, I would love to do that. As we start to figure out this live broadcast thing, and I start to get a little better and better, I want to have live guests on the show, because I believe there are many people other than myself that have valuable things to say, that have some great lessons you could take away. Although I love to talk, I love to have opinions, I want to invite other people into that space. So if you want to be one of those people, the best way to do it is to email. Don't tweet, or I mean, you could text, I guess, but email is the best way. Tell me a little bit about yourself, what you want to talk about, what you're passionate about, that kind of thing, and then we'll go from there. So thank you again for being on iCOACH. This was iCOACH broadcast number 4. Every Monday at 7 p.m. we will go live. Go to iCOACH.today, okay, and click the button that says that you can go live. And then you'll be able to do that. So hopefully the internet did not completely screw everything up today. If it did, I am sorry. I apologize. We will have the recorded version on there, and we will continue to work out these kinks. All right. Thank you so much. See you next time.